Welcome to another class of measurement and control. Today we are going to study speed measurement. We are going to follow the syllabus prescribed by West Bengal State Council of Technical Education and Vocational Training. The device that we use to measure speed is known as tachometer. Now tachometer are classified into various types. They are as follows: contact type tachometer, non-contact type tachometer, electronic tachometer, analog tachometer, digital tachometer, time measuring tachometer, frequency measuring tachometer, and mechanical tachometers. These are the few definitions of the types of tachometers here. We will discuss these definitions, and we will look into each and every point, each and every type of tachometers in the later slides. Now we will try to understand mechanical tachometer at first. What is a mechanical tachometer? It is a mechanical device which works on the principle of physical displacement of indicating parts either linearly or non-linearly. The displacement is used as a measurand which is proportional to the driver shaft. Now on the right hand side we can see a device known as handheld tachometer. Now this is a kind of mechanical tachometer. It has a spindle which is attached to the object whose speed is to be measured. The spindle is connected to a mechanical counter which displays the count. The indicator has a inbuilt stopwatch and a mechanical counter with automatic disconnect. The range of handheld tachometers are of 20,000 to 30,000 RPM with an accuracy of 1%. Now the next type of tachometer is electrical tachometer. Electrical tachometers, contact type electrical tachometers are of two types generally. They are DC tachometer generator and AC tachometer generator. DC tachometer generators consist of a small armature which is coupled to the machine whose speed is to be measured. This armature revolves in the field of a permanent magnet. The EMF generated is proportional to the product of flux and speed. Since the flux of the permanent magnet is constant, the voltage generated is proportional to speed. The polarity of output voltage indicates the direction of rotation. The EMF is measured with the help of a moving coil voltmeter having a uniform scale and calibrated directly in terms of speed. Now there are certain advantages of DC tachometer generator. Number one, the direction of rotation is directly indicated by the polarity of the output voltage. Number two, the output voltage is typically 10 millivolt per RPM and can be measured with conventional type DC voltmeters. Disadvantage of DC tachometers are brushes on small tachometer generators often produce maintenance problems as their contact resistance may vary and produce applicable errors. Thus, the commutators and the brushes require periodic maintenance. Number two, the input resistance of meter should be very high as compared with output resistance of generator. This is required to limit the armature current to small values. If the armature current is large, the field of the permanent magnet is distorted, giving rise to nonlinearity. To overcome some of the difficulties mentioned in DC tachometer generator, AC tachometer generators are used. The tachometer generator has rotating magnet which may be either a permanent magnet or a electromagnet. The coil is wounded on the stator and therefore the problem associated with commutator and brushes are absent. The rotation of magnet causes an EMF to be induced in the stator coil. The amplitude and frequency of this EMF are both proportional to the speed of rotation. Thus, either amplitude or frequency of induced voltage may be used as a measure of rotational speed. The output voltage of AC tachometer generator is rectified and is measured with a PMMC or permanent magnet moving coil voltmeter. Limitations of AC tachometer generator is the first point, the difficulty with this system increases at low speed due to the frequency of the output voltage is low. Hence, it is very difficult to smooth out the ripples in the output voltage wave shape, and hence AC tachometer generators are designed to have a large number of poles so that the frequency of output voltage is high even at low speed. The next topic of speed measurement is incremental encoder or incremental optical encoder. The incremental optical encoder creates a series of equally spaced signals corresponding to the mechanical increment required. The simpler type of incremental encoder is the tachometer encoder. Its output waveform and code track on the disk is shown in this figure. A tachometer encoder is sometimes called a single track incremental encoder because it has only one output and cannot detect direction. The output is usually a square wave. Information about velocity is available by looking at the time interval between the pulses or at the number of pulses within a time period. As for example, if we divide a shaft rotation into 100 parts, an encoder would be selected to supply 1000 square wave cycles per revolution. By using a counter to count these cycles, we can find how much the shaft has rotated. Suppose the count is 100, then the shaft has rotated only 36 degrees. Now the next device that we are going to study for speed measurement is eddy current drag curve tachometer. Now in eddy current drag curve tachometer, we have a ferromagnetic core which rotates proportionally to the rotating shaft or the rotating wheel, and the rotor is made up of a thin aluminum cylinder which is known as a drag cup that we can find here. We can find in this diagram as movable metal cup, this one, and this rotating magnet is a ferromagnetic core. It rotates with the shaft which is attached to it. Now the light inertia rotor is highly conductive and acts as a short circuit. Due to the rotation of this magnet, eddy current is developed on the surface of this movable metal cup, and that produces a torque, and this movable metal cup is further connected with a pointer and has a scale, and this is connected with a shaft which is loaded with a spring, and this metal movable cup rotates and produces a torque which gives the output with the help of the pointer and indicates the speed of the shaft which is connected to the magnet. After eddy current drag curve tachometer, speed measurement device that we are going to study is the stroboscopic tachometer. The stroboscope is a simple man-portable manually operated device which can be used for measurement of periodic or rotary motion. Basically, the instrument is a source of variable frequency flashing brilliant light, the flashing frequency being set by the operator. The circuit used is based upon variable frequency oscillator which controls the flashing frequency. The speed is measured by adjusting the frequency so that the moving objects are visible only at a specific interval of time. The method used in the stroboscope depends upon imperfect dynamic response of human eye. If a strong light is caused to flash on a moving object which at the time each flash occupies a given position, the object will appear to be stationary. Therefore, the method is useful for only those types of motion which occurs regularly after a fixed interval of time, such as oscillation or rotation. The stroboscope consists of a source of light which is having a variable frequency system, or the frequency can be varied or controlled. The source is known as strobotron. Stroboscopic tachometer do have lot of advantages and disadvantages, and the advantage number one, This method imposes no load on the shaft. Number 2, it requires no special attachment with the shaft. Number 3, this method is particularly useful where it is inconvenient or impossible to make contact with the shaft. Number 4, it is very convenient to use a stroboscope for a spot check on machinery speed and for laboratory work. Disadvantages: the circuit of the variable frequency oscillator cannot be stabilized to a given fixed frequency. Therefore, this method is less accurate than the method utilizing digital meters. Number 2, the stroboscope cannot be used in surroundings where the ambient light is above a certain level. The stroboscope requires subdued lighting conditions for efficient operation. Commercially available stroboscopes are usually found in the range of 600 to 20,000 rpm. After stroboscopic type tachometer, the next speed measurement device is photoelectric tachometer. The photoelectric tachometer consists of a disc which has a number of equidistant holes on its periphery. At one side of the disc there is a light source which is fixed, and on the other side of the disc and in line with the light source a light sensor such as a phototube or a photodiode or some photosensitive semiconducting device is placed. When the opaque portion of the disc is between the light source and the light sensor, the latter is unilluminated and produces no output. But when a hole appears between the two, the light falls upon the sensor, produces an output pulse. The frequency at which these pulses are produced depend upon the number of holes in the disc and its speed of rotation. Since the number of holes is fixed, the pulse rate is a function of speed of rotation. The pulse rate can be measured by an electronic counter which can be directly calibrated in terms of speed in RPM. It has advantages. They are as follows. Number 1, the output format is digital, and this means that if the tachometer is a part of a digital instrumentation system, no analog to digital conversion is necessary. Number 2, the pulse amplitudes are constant. This simplifies the electronic circuitry. Disadvantages: a disadvantage is that the light source must be replaced from time to time. A typical lifespan of a light source is 50,000 hours. After photoelectric tachometer, the next speed measurement device is magnetic pickup. The magnetic pickup consists of a housing containing a small permanent magnet with a coiled wound around it. When the rotor rotates, the reluctance of the air gap between the pickup coil and the toothed rotor changes, giving rise to an induced EMF in the pickup coil. This output is in the form of pulses with a variety of wave shapes. The frequency of the pulses of the induced voltage will depend upon the number of teeth of the rotor and its speed of rotation. Since the number of teeth is known, the speed of rotation can be determined by measuring the frequency of pulse with an electronic counter. Suppose the rotor has T teeth, the speed of rotation is in n rps and the number of pulse per second is capital P, then speed n, which will be equal to pulses per second divided by number of teeth. This kind of sensors or this kind of measuring devices has few advantages. They are as follows. It is simple and rugged in construction. It is maintenance free. It can be calibrated very easily. The information from the device can be transmitted very easily. Thank you very much for your kind cooperation.